Hey everybody, David here, and today I want to talk about this social media reaction for Captain Marvel. Last night, some critics got to see Captain Marvel a little bit early than most of us. The movie still has 3 more weeks to come out. But social media reactions were allowed to be released. I think the reviews are officially going to come out March 4th, which will make, I believe, that week or a few days early before the movie comes out officially. That's an okay sign. It would be better if they released them right now, but maybe they think, hey, 3 weeks, it's a little too early. I would say release it a week early or 2 weeks early. Whatever, fine. So yeah, social media reactions are really great for this film. People seem to be really positive. I'm not going to go too much into them. If you want, just search it up. Go on Twitter or however you use social media. I'm sure there's Instagram posts about it too. I searched on Twitter. That's where usually most people hashtag Captain Marvel and will tweet very briefly about it. There's been maybe a few tweets that I saw that were a little underwhelmed by it, but for the most part, everybody seemed to really enjoy this movie. One big thing to take out of this is everybody is saying that Ben, or a lot of tweets have been saying that Ben Mendelsohn is a highlight in the film. Something I noticed. There was one tweet I remember saying that Samuel Jackson is really great in it. A lot of people are praising Brie Larson as the title character, Captain Marvel. The action and special effects are supposed to be really good. I'm hearing some rumblings about the cat. The cat is also a scene stealer. So it sounds like there's a lot of really goodness here. Some people are even saying there's a lot of surprises. Probably stuff that maybe cameos, maybe little Easter eggs. Who knows, that they are not even showing yet. Maybe little twists and turns throughout the story, because some people are speculating certain things about certain characters. Like some people aren't really even sure who Jude Law is playing yet, and if who they're hinting at is not really what he's playing. So look, I'm one of the people that have been enjoying the trailers. I'll admit these aren't the best trailers Marvel has ever put out, but I'm always looking forward to these Marvel films because Marvel has never let me down yet. I'm going to be honest. A lot of people, some people will say, oh, Iron Man 2 was a weak spot, or Thor the Dark World wasn't that great. But I'm like, no, I enjoyed every MCU film. I'm sorry. No, I'm not going to apologize about it, because that's my taste and that's what I love. I love the MCU. I think ever since Iron Man 1, I've been really loving everything they've been putting out. And, there was one movie where I was thinking, along with everybody else, is this going to be Marvel's first bomb? And that was the movie where I stopped thinking that way, because if you could pull that off, you can pull off anything. And that was Guardians of the Galaxy. A lot of people thought Guardians of the Galaxy was going to be the biggest disaster from Marvel. It was going to be their first big bomb, and it turned out to be one of their greatest hits. And now everybody knows who Rocket Raccoon is. Everybody knows Groot and the saying, I am Groot. When my parents know who Rocket Raccoon and Groot are, Marvel did something right. And I think they're just killing it with their films, and they do one hit after the other. Even if you don't love the film, I think a lot of people can enjoy those films to a degree. And if you don't, okay, whatever, that's your taste. But for me, I love it. And I haven't doubted Marvel since Guardians of the Galaxy, because I'm like, I'm done with doubting these guys. I'm just going to enjoy the ride and see whatever they throw at me. And look, when they have their bad movie, which one day they will, there was a time where I always thought Pixar was unstoppable. I was even one of the few people that defended Cars, the first Cars movie. I actually enjoyed the first Cars movie, but then came Cars 2, and that's their weakest film. I'm going to admit that. Even I know that's not their greatest. Even though I don't hate it as much as other people do, I can see, yeah, okay, that's a weak spot on Pixar's resume. But for me, the MCU hasn't had their Cars 2 yet. To me, Marvel has been killing it all the way through. This is not like Fox. Fox Marvel is a totally different thing with the X-Men and Fantastic Four and the old Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck and the old they did one more, didn't they? Daredevil and something else. Anyways, and it's not like Sony with Ghost Rider or even with the Spider-Man properties. This Marvel to me has had a really good track record from what I got from them. So hearing that Captain Marvel is getting really good reviews on social media right now is no surprise to me, because I was expecting it to get really good reviews. Maybe not as overwhelming as it has been so far, but then again, this isn't really reviews in general. This is more like little thoughts on Twitter, right? The reviews we'll learn about soon, and where they calculate when Rotten Tomatoes is allowed to post that percentage up from critics. So these aren't full reviews. They might have some little nitpicks about the film. They're not saying the film is perfect. I don't think any film is perfect, and I don't think we should expect them to be. But I think we should have what you want from these Marvel films. One thing that a lot of people are saying is that this movie tries to be a little bit more ambitious than previous Marvel films. I've heard the term ambitious used before on some of the Marvel films from the past. I know Winter Soldier, people said, was one of those films that tried to change the tone up a little bit. Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, was another one. Some people would probably even argue that Infinity War was ambitious, although that one people didn't really say change the tone. That still had the tone that the Marvel formula is familiar with. This one really sounds like it's trying to take things to the next level. Whether it succeeds or not will depend on the viewer. Now, that doesn't mean you get your expectations super high with this movie. Whenever I go to a movie, I don't get my expectations super high, and I want to remind people this, because I think when people start hearing this good stuff, like, oh my god, this movie's going to be amazing, they start overhyping themselves. But they have to set a standard where when you go in, don't go in with no expectations. Sometimes it's even good not to listen to reviews, because then you're going in with a clean slate. I like listening to what other people think, because I can clear my head while going into the theater and not worry about what other people thought. There is a level of expectations there, but I can hold them steady. I think the only film I didn't let that happen to was Infinity War. I let my expectations go super high on that one, and thank goodness they were met on every level. So that was the only film that, like, wow, man, I overhyped myself way too much. It should have failed in my eyes the way I had my expectations for Infinity War. But man, I loved how that movie, it was like, you know what? I'll leave it at that. It was a beautiful film. I love Infinity War. That's my favorite film right now, from ever. And look, Captain Marvel, I'm not expecting it to be the best MCU movie, but I'm expecting it now to kind of hopefully be in the conversation of the top 10, maybe. So that's how it sounds like. It's gonna maybe be top 10 potential, so we'll see. And you know what? Even if I don't come out loving it at first, maybe it will grow on me even more. So just try to temper your expectations and go in with a clean slate and decide for yourself, because maybe the movie is not for you. Who knows? With that being said, I love Marvel, and I'm really hoping that Marvel or Disney or Cineplex or, you know, whatever company wants to invite me to an early screening so I can get an early advanced review. That would be amazing. If anybody from any of these studios are watching this video, you know, I would really appreciate that. If you're not watching this video, well, then I hope somebody passes this to you to say, hey, get this guy to watch an early screening of the movie so he can get his review out, and because he loves your movies. Look, I know in this day and age, this is a female protagonist who, you know, they probably want more women to go see the movie first, like they did with Wonder Woman. That's what I'm thinking. But I'm supporting all that too. So let me come see the movie early along with everybody else, and I can get that out there. So, and tell people to go watch the movie because, hey, I don't care if people call me a Disney shill, which no one has yet, but one day, if this channel ever gets big and famous, who knows? As people might be calling me a Disney shill, and I'm like, sure, whatever. I'm a Disney shill because I do love Marvel. So technically, you should call me a Marvel shill, not a Disney shill. But I'll be a Disney shill for free. Okay? So with that being said, I hate that term, shill. Anyways, with that being said, until next time, take care.